what we've seen over the last several years, and we saw it around the debate over the Twins ballpark, where we have a lot of politicians to say, oh, absolutely, we need to keep the Twins, we need to keep the Vikings, we need to keep Major League Sports, but boy, I don't want to pay the price, I don't want to take the lead on the issue. Or those on the other side who have said, well, it's not that important, we can still be a great state without some of these assets. And I think that's the failure of leadership. What we need in Minnesota is a leader who, first of all, is going to have the vision, who's going to put out the ideas, who's going to be willing to create bold, innovative ideas for the future, and then bring people together, not just around the ideas that person proposes, but around the conversation, around the discussion. Here's why I think the Vikings are important to Minnesota. I think certainly there is some direct economic benefit. I think about 20-25% of Viking tickets are sold to out-of-state purchasers, so we are bringing in new money into Minnesota. But what's really important are a couple of the things that sometimes we don't think about. One is that when you talk to our major employers in Minnesota, what they'll say is that one of the real assets is to be a major league community. Major league arts and recreation, major league outdoor activities, and major league sports, especially baseball and football. That's important to a community. It's important to a community in attracting and retaining top talent. But there's another aspect to that, and that is, on a Sunday afternoon, 60% or more of Minnesotans now have a common bond. They're joined in watching the Vikings and cheering for the hometown team. In this day and age, when we're losing more and more of our common cultural touchstones, to have that kind of coming together is important for a state. It really is asking the Vikings to step up, even beyond what other communities who have worked out deals with their NFL teams have done. Minnesota does face a lot of difficult challenges, and we have to address them all. It's not a matter of sorting them out and saying we can take on these issues and leave these behind, or we can take on those issues and ignore the others. That's what the legislature has been doing for the last several years. So now in 2011, the legislature is going to have a full agenda, no question about it, but we have 201 legislators. We have a big government. We can deal with these issues if we start talking about them now, if we give voters the opportunity to evaluate where candidates are at on the different positions, and let's have that discussion. That's how campaigns ought to be used. That's why I'm out there talking about a Viking stadium, talking about education, talking about healthcare, talking about economic development, job creation, and developing our communities. Those are exactly the kinds of issues that we ought to be discussing in the campaign.